Shalom. Allah start out by giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Arakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations to the Ophelet that's pushing his truth across four corners of the earth, our faith, truth, and sincerity. On this, I'm a Bob back again, sitting. This we're going to, just about how, when these Trump or whoever say these people, the situation that's going on with Trump and the U.S. and Iran, and the war situation that's going on. Once they come out and say come out with a peace deal, come out to say it's just peace and no more war, whatever, right? They come out and say that that don't mean that things gonna get peaceful, things gonna get back to normal. Nah, that means all hell gonna break loose. It's gonna be utter chaos that's gonna come about upon America, Babylon the Great. So I'm getting into it. On this 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So when they say peace and safety, when they say everything's okay, no more war or whatever, nope, don't fall for that. What the scriptures say, when they say when they shall say peace and safety. So when they come to a peace, a deal, whatever it may be, like no more war, they come out, whatever, how I go about, Trump or whatever, right? And say, hey, everything's good, blah blah blah. We came to a peace deal, nobody ain't gotta, worry no more about, the pending World War III. World War III is gonna come about. Nah, when that happens, sudden destruction will come upon them. Come upon displace America, Babylon the Great. So, but you're gonna have people really believe that, right? When they, Trump, come out and say that, or however that comes about with that peace, that peace and safety, right? Make things seem that everything's okay, but it's not. But like I said, man, the sudden stress gonna come upon these people here in America, Babylon the Great, as a travail upon a woman with child. Like when a woman has a child, she ain't, got the birth pains, the pains, right? Them pains coming about. You're gonna feel, people gonna be in a lot of pain and suffering, going forward, and they shall not escape and they shall not escape those pains and the judgments that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shah has, for the people here in America, Babylon the Great, So I'm gonna go from there to 2nd Ezra. We'll go to 16. Second Ezra 16:37. Behold, the pledge draw nigh, and are not slack. So the pledge, are nigh, and they not slacking. So the pledge that the Lord Yahweh Shah had for this place, America, Babylon the Great, it's not gonna slack. Right? Things gonna keep happening more and more. Nothing but a whole bunch of death and destruction is coming upon the place, America, Babylon the Great. Nothing's good is coming, to this place, America. But next verse. 2nd Ezra 16:38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, in 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slacken at a moment. So like woman had, like I say, I was saying in Second Thessalonians, right? So, as a woman with, in Second Ezra 16:38, going, about to go into the same thing, just, like woman, she having a child, when a woman about to have, a baby, right? She about to, give birth, those birth pains, right? So them pains, it's gonna come about upon this place in America, Babylon Great, the plagues, the wrath and the plagues, all the judgments and things that the Lord Yahweh Shai gonna bring upon this place in America, Babylon Great in this world, it's not gonna stop. It's gotta happen. Like I said, the woman, she having that baby, the baby coming out. It's not, can't push that baby back in the womb. Can't stop the baby from coming. It gotta come, right? So if these plagues, in the wrath and destruction that the Lord Yahweh Shai is gonna bring upon America, Babylon the Great, is not gonna stop. It gotta happen. Let's see. Second Ezra 16:39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So these players ain't gonna slack, like I said, it's not gonna slack up. Things gonna keep on happening, man. A lot of chaos and destruction. A lot of chaos and destruction is coming upon this place, America, Babylon Great. The world gonna mourn. People gonna be mourning and sorrows and pain. They're gonna feel it on every side. Everybody gonna feel it, right? Everybody gonna feel, the wrath and judgments of the Lord Yahweh Shai. And the only ones that gonna get through it and make it through it, and that Lord Yahweh Shai gonna have mercy on is the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives. Hopefully, I'm part of righteous number 2, escape rapid judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai in these times. But everybody else, that's not of that number, hey, you're gonna have to deal with the judgments you're gonna have to deal with the judgments that gonna come upon you. But next verse. Second Ezra 16:40. Oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. So hey, and that's oh my people, and that's the elect of the so-called Negro. That's the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are the Israelites. So prepare, make you ready to the battle. The times of trouble, the times going to the great tribulations, troubles, the evil times. We know those times are now. It's the beginning, but it's finna get intensified. As we go forward. And be as pilgrims upon the earth. Pilgrim. Keep moving. Can't look back. No matter how. Bad things gonna get, and how things is now, whatever. Gotta keep moving forward, man. And keep the faith in Lord Yahweh Shai, no matter what. So with that, I didn't want to miss too long, so hope this will edify. Again, like about praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash, to the apostles, elders, to the Sisakim brothers, to the Fiyakwaf, sisters that do this and keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting. That shit. Shalom.